mean, obviously, if you look back now, look, we made a lot of progress. Maybe not as much as everybody would like. I think we did in terms of we had a lot of sympathetic legislation, which I think enhanced the role of trade unions and gave them a better platform, whether it's in terms of equality legislation or legislation outlining the right to belong to a fair trade union, but the right to have a ballot and win that process of recognition. And all the sort of words you get from this government and their supporters make you feel at the moment that some of those rights are at risk. They've already extended or proposed to extend the unfair dismissal terms from 1 year to 2 years, because it takes an awful lot of time for an employer to work out. Yeah, perfectly fair. I mean, actually, won't achieve their objective. Their objective being to sort of stem what they see as the flood tide of employment tribunal claims. So I think, and apart from what the legislation that we put into place, so we've still got the agency worker directive coming through, which would be good, assuming that they don't attempt to stop that. And unless it's European legislation, I don't think we're going to get much more favourable legislation from this government. So I do think that we sort of have to take a strategic approach. And I was sort of reflecting on, how trade unions react under real sort of pressure. And in the middle of the recession, I think it was quite interesting in as much as it was quite obvious. People worked out, well, we're not going to be able to strike our way out of this much, so we've got to think of something else to do. So it's painful, difficult, but people were negotiating things like shorter working weeks whilst training took place during that. There was temporary layoffs and they weren't particularly nice things, but they were damn sight better than losing the job altogether. And perhaps more importantly, I felt, was that it engaged with the employer. And I do attach an awful lot of importance to that. If you think of probably, I think one of the most successful things that the trade union movement did, and we encouraged, put quite a bit of money into it, was union learning reps. That really was reputation enhancing. But not only reputation, because that wasn't why we said about it. It actually made a profound difference to ordinary members. We've got people who might have given up the ghost on education and training. We've got them back into it. We really did have an impact on workers' lives. So I do think we've got to recognise that there'll be occasions when strikes are perhaps an appropriate response, but they're not going to resolve all the situations. And whilst we were in government, I spent an enjoyable period of time working with Lita and her organisation, who's trying to spread the gospel on what to employers in a way about why participation was a worthwhile approach. Why, if you enter into a meaningful dialogue with your employees, you can improve productivity. And I actually, interestingly, saw it firsthand in what potentially was probably one of the worst industrial environments you could go to. I mean, the Gatwick sorting office. I thought, this is going to be good. CWU members, that should be a hotbed of horrible management and almost an equally horrible workforce at times. Sometimes I don't think they deserved each other. What's my surprise when I got there was that management had persuaded them with another concept of world-class manner about, well, if we set about thinking how we can improve this workplace, we could make it a much better place. And they did. And I said to a group of them, I was there to speak to anybody on that, and I said, well, come on, when they first came along with this idea, what was your reaction? I said, usual management bullshit, we were pretty cynical. So, what's convinced you? What's the difference? They said, well, because they really did listen to us. Astounding modern management technique, listening to workforce. And they had transformed the place. You could eat their damn dinner off the floor. But the best remark I got was from a woman, a postal worker who was involved in the sort of sorting process. She said, it's a pleasure to come to work today. And I thought, well, that shows what can be done. It isn't easy. And I'll end on this sort of note. I think we've got to both look into the workplace and outside the workplace. We've got now the biggest figures for youth unemployment, and that's the bit, it's not that I don't care about, but youth unemployment. We should be banging the drum about another lost generation. It should be at the forefront of our campaigns. Because after all, if they see that the union movement is campaigning for them, then they're more likely to be interested and see the union as something very, very positive. I'll end at that point.
Thank you very much. That's a great note to end on about how we build our movement while we are trying to make these advances.